Hola amigos, I hope you all are doing well. There are some strategies that are essential to be implemented in a dual language setting to help language learners to be successful. Today, we're going to be talking about some of those strategies. The first strategy that we're going to go over is the use of cognates. Cognates are those words that sound alike and they have the same meaning in two different languages. For instance, police, policía, animal, animal, science, ciencias. It's very important for you to look for these cognates while you're planning the lesson to help the language learner to understand a concept. Another strategy that we're going to be talking about is the differentiation. It's very important for us to differentiate in the work. Remember that this is a process in which we tailor the lessons to meet each student's individual interests, need, and strengths. Let's remember that we can differentiate instruction across many areas. We can do it through content, process, product, and through the environment. For instance, if you're asking a student or if you're asking a class to write a whole paragraph on a certain topic, some students might be able to write 2 or 3 sentences. Some of them will be able to write paragraphs, or some of them might be able to write or to draw a picture, and then they will be able to write a sentences based on that picture. Differentiation plays a very essential role in a dual language setting. So I encourage you for you to differentiate every lesson. Another strategy that we have is creative dramatics and role playing. Role playing is basically similar to a skit. It is an activity or a strategy that help the student develop their speaking skills. It's engaging. It allows all the students to play a role and express themselves. It also promotes situations outside of the classroom, which allows students to see the importance of learning certain skills. The good thing about the role playing is that the students also help each other and support and build their social skills. The strategy of using realia. Realia is basically using real objects in the lesson. Realia reinforces language skill and appeals to both visuals and kinesthetics learners at all ages and all grades. It's very important for you to present while you're planning a lesson to try to bring to the class different ways of showing the realia. We also there are different ways that we can show realia. For instance, that we can use realia. For instance, you can use games, Island of Survival. You can bring different realia subjects and have the students pick 3 realia subjects that they will use to survive in an island. We also have a scavenger hunt in which you can tell the students to go around and find some objects based on the topic that you're working on. Language body is another strategy that is very essential and is highly recommended. It's important for you to pair the students, one that is stronger in one language with someone that is stronger with another language. For instance, someone that is stronger in English, you can pair them up with someone that is stronger in Spanish. They will support each other. They can help interpret what the teacher are saying, and also during in the group work, they can help and support each other. We can also implement this for parents. It'll be good for parents to have someone that they can support with, someone that they can rely on. So we could have a parent who speaks English well and a parent who speaks Spanish, and then they can support each other. Total physical response is another strategy. This is a method of teaching language or vocabulary concept using physical movements to react to verbal input. The purpose of this strategy is to create a brain link between a speech and in action. This will definitely boost the language and the vocabulary learning. For instance, if you're teaching about water cycle, you can have the movements water cycle. So every time the students have these movements, they will remember this concept. Visual clues, it's essential, important to have in a dual language class. The visuals help to store information longer. It makes communication quicker and simpler. It also helps comprehend new concepts. And one of the most important things is that drive motivation and engage the student. Talking about visuals, we also have manipulatives, which is another way of use visuals. Now, when the students are using manipulatives, they are able to show how they're thinking and why they're thinking. The manipulatives also provides a bridge between concrete and abstract. It supports the engagement and the differentiation. This is another way to differentiate. It also gives the students the ownership of their own learning when they're using manipulatives. Another way I can see this, another way of visuals is the vocabulary word wall. The vocabulary word wall provides the students the opportunity to see the relationship between some words. They help the students to see a pattern of some words and also builds the phonetic and the spelling skills. They provide references, support for children while they're reading and writing. So when they're reading and writing, the students will be using the word wall just as the references to support. It's very important that these word walls are used appropriate. For instance, I see the word wall as a live document, as a live word wall. Whenever you are seeing a new concept, you should put new word on the wall. You should not have the word wall filled at the beginning of the school year. This is a system in which you build up as the school year goes. You can also take some words down and put some up based on what you're saying. It's very important also for you to build this word wall with the students every time that you see a concept, review with the students, and also help them and model how to refer and how to use this word wall. Lastly, we have the Shelter Instruction Observation Protocol Strategy. This SIOP is a research-based instructional model that is highly effective in addressing the academic needs of language learners. This strategy basically talks about different strategies that we're going to be using. For instance, building vocabulary, making sure that you're using the language objectives, making sure that you are using visuals for the students that need it. This strategy is going to help the students to scaffold their work for you to be able to differentiate the work as well for the students. So there are 5 different components in terms of the Shelter Instruction Observation Protocol. One of them is the component lesson preparation. When you're preparing a lesson, make sure that you have graphic organizers, make sure that you have a content language objectives. The other component is building background knowledge. The vocabulary that we were talking about, making sure that we have all the vocabulary that the students might not or you can build on. We also have comprehensive input, which is when you scaffold the higher thinking questions, the wait time that you allow for the students to think and respond. Another strategies that we should be using is think aloud, create an I wonder chart, making sure that we have some questions to increase their thinking. the interaction, make sure that we give opportunity for the students to interact, making sure that we have a group work and allow students to interact with each other. As you were able to see, all these strategies are very helpful for language learners. It will help the students that are learning English, and it will also help the students that are learning Spanish. I hope this has been very helpful. I'm going to share this document with you, and in each document, when you click on each title, you will see some articles that support and also give examples of some of the strategies that I had shared with you. In addition, I would like to show you how you can get the cognates for you to use. We have bought this license in which you go to this website. When you go to this website, you will have different activities that you will be able to use. For the cognates, what you do, you'll go here where it says Spanish language arts, and you go all the way down where it says cognados. These are the cognates that you will see, and we have them. We have the cognates with even some pictures. If you go where it says Spanish language arts, so when you go, I'm sorry, you can be found, this can be found where it says cognates. Once again, if this system asks you to enter a password, the password that you will need to enter is dual23. Something else that I want to share is that I'm going to be sending out an email for all of you to please select who is the language body for each student that you have in your class. I have listed all the students in your class, so you would just have to select who the language body would be for each of your class. Once again, for each of your students. Once again, these are strategies that are essential and that should be happening during your planning time and when you're delivering a lesson. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you.